Coming straight out of my cigarette. You working 7 days a week. I know how you feel. I feel the same. We put the same.
Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Naima and I have a special close to heart video today. But if you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thank you always for supporting. I have been trying to figure out how I'm going to approach YouTube, how I want to continue with it. It is a hobby of mine that I like to do. I love to create video content. I love to talk about different topics and yap. And then I also like sharing my own life as I'm going throughout life. And when I initially started this channel, I of course wanted to just share my life, but I also just wanted to give advice and talk about different things that were going on in my life as I go through things and share advice and just build a little vibe going. So today I am going to be talking about whole journey of moving to Atlanta, going to grad school, finishing grad school, starting working, just kind of that whole sphere of things. So I really wanted to just talk about the last 2 years of my life, because I feel like it has been such a thing, but in such a beautiful and cool and real way. And I just want to say, first off, shout out to God, because he really did he really did his big one with me, and he always does his big one with me, but I feel like this was really another layer unlocked, and I just have to be so grateful and show gratitude, because when you really are going about life, and especially in your 20s, I'm 25, and you're going throughout life, you're starting to start life, and it's getting real. It's wait, life just got so real. I am not younger anymore. I'm actually an adult. I'm the adult. So it's whoa. And sometimes it can feel overwhelming, and sometimes so much life can be happening around you, to you, in front of you. It's so much. So I just want to say, that's our baseline. We giving it to him upstairs, and he is the supplier of everything that I am sitting in, feeling in, and enjoying right now. So let's just get that started. But I titled the name of this video Blooming Into Your Full Self because, and pardon me if I'm looking down, I have notes, because I have to be organized when I'm doing these videos, because I love to talk and I can really go off on tangents, and then the video is longer than what I expected, so I just have to keep myself on track. I really want to title this video Blooming Into Your Full Self, because I feel the last 2 years of my life, I really have just been going through metamorphosis, y'all. It's really metamorphosis. I feel I was a caterpillar, and then I went into my cocoon, and then now I'm in the early stages of being a butterfly, and it's I hate to be all da 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 da, but that's really how it feels. I feel I just went through a really big transformation in the last 2 years, and I just really have just really retreated in and gotten a lot of things about myself came to light, and it's just it was such a thing. But the one thing that I want to start off with is kind of how I kind of got to where I'm at right now, and what that has been like. So in 2022, at the end of 2022, I feel I kind of was at a not a crossroad, but I feel like I had just came to a kind of stop. Like 2021 and 2022 were such big years for me. So I graduated college in 2021. By the end of 2021, I started working at my first job. 2022 was like, I'm working my first full-time job. Like I'm in like this, like, you know, like it's booming, it's fun, it's cool, I'm traveling, I'm outside, I'm at work, like I am and I'm 22, like I'm living the life for real, like whole living the life. Right? And then like in November, and I remember because like I was working in like my old job, like holiday season, like from September to like December was like the most kind of like stressful time of work because it was holiday. Like you're prepping for holiday season and then you're in holiday season. And when you work in retail and then like I'm in like retail corporate, like it was just like really intense. So I just was like really like in work, and I remember this moment, like this like time period in my life so much, because that's when like I was really starting to think about like, okay, like what is like my like, you know, job gonna look like next year. Like my manager at the time, she was just kind of like talking to me like, you know, like where do you see yourself, like you've been here for like a year, because at that rate I had been there, it was coming up on a year. And she was like, you know, like where do you see yourself, like, you know, like what do you want to do here, like, you know, what team do you want to be on. Like we were just having those conversations. I also was like at the point where I was starting to want to like move out, and I was like, you know, like that was like a personal conversation that like I was having, like I kind of want to move out of my mom's. Like I wasn't like hating it there, but it was just like I'm ready to live on my own. You know, I was also like, I kind of want a new car. Like I had still been driving my car from college, and I was just kind of like at a point where I felt like I just wanted to step into something new. And initially I thought that was like, I thought it was a different thing than like what I actually like needed. I was like looking to like kind of get more things of like getting an apartment, like getting a new car, and like stepping into a promotion. Like that's what I thought I wanted, you know, like I thought that like that's what I wanted. I thought that's what I needed. I thought that was like my next step. At this time as well, like, I was also thinking about grad school. I was like, you know, because I was like coming up on being a year employee, so it was just like, okay, like now, you know, I can either go back to school through this company, like what does that process look like what does that look like for me staying here, what does that look like me for going to school. Like, it was like so many things where like I was thinking about so much stuff. So fast forward, it is like January, February of the new year, and I'm kind of like, you know, what's the vibe? Like I'm looking at apartments in Chicago now. I'm also like starting to kind of look for other jobs, because I'm like, you know, I don't know if I really want to stay at this company. I don't know if I want to do this. And then I'm also like, I sold my car, so it's just like I'm carless. Like I'm looking for new jobs, I'm like looking for apartments. Like I'm just kind of like and now looking back at it, like I wasn't all over the place, because I had a clear, like I always do stuff with intention, and I had like a plan of like how I wanted it to be. Like I was either going to move out in Chicago. That's why I sold my car, because I initially wanted to move out in Chicago, and I didn't want to like have a car when I lived downtown or like in the inner city, because like parking your car there was like so expensive each month on top of rent. So I was just like, I don't really need a car. I'm just going to like do public transportation. Like we have good public transportation in Chicago, and I'm just gonna like vibe out. Like I don't really need to do all that, especially because I wanted to live in an area that had everything that I needed. Sorry, I'm getting thirsty. I was like, you know, let me just sell my car, and then if anything, I'll just get me another car. Like my car, it was an older car, like it was a 2001, so it was like kind of giving me troubles. I was like kind of getting annoyed with it. I was just like, like I'm over it. So fast forward to March, y'all. I have applied to new jobs. I have applied to like, I'm like talking with this company, like they're like offering me a role, and like I'm leaving my job. Like I put in my 2 weeks and I was like, okay, like, I'm leaving. And I didn't have like the other job like for real. Like I hadn't signed a contract, I hadn't even seen an offer letter. Like I was just in conversation with them, and I was just and at first I was like, oh my god, like should I do it, like even though I don't have a contract and I don't have like a start date with my new job, like with this new job that's gonna go through and stuff like that. And I was like, nah, like I'm just gonna do it. Like something in my heart, and literally God was like in my heart, is just like, just leave, like just leave, like whatever is up next will come. And y'all, that is like the theme of this video. Like when you are really blooming into yourself and you are really like trying to like, you know, go into the next level, like sometimes you just have to release and like just trust in what's coming next. And I feel like that was literally the vibe of like 2023. Like I was just like, you know what, I'm just trusting that what's happening right now is for my better, like good, and these are ordered steps, and like that's gonna be the vibe. So I thought I was gonna work at this other company, y'all. The road did not go through. The road did not go through. And it was so crazy because like in March I had like came to Atlanta to like look at apartments, because I was like, well, I'm gonna get this new job. It was like they had a remote office. They had an office in Atlanta, and they had an office in Chicago. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like move to Atlanta. I'm going to like restart my life, because I had wanted to move to Atlanta. But that was one of my dream cities, so I was like, I want to move to Atlanta. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like when I came to Atlanta to visit apartments, I did not sign a lease. Like it was something telling me like, don't sign a lease, like don't sign a lease. So I didn't sign a lease, but I did leave my job. And so now it's like end of March, I don't have a job, don't have a car, like I'm just straight on vibes. Like I do not know what's next. And I was really enjoying that time. Like I was really like, okay, like, you know, and I had the option to kind of be like, oh my god, like what's next for me? Like I'm stressed, like da 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 da. And it was a little bit of like, I feel like when the road didn't go through, like I was kind of sad, but I think I was more sad just about the road not going through, and like not for real. But I just had this like feeling that like my life was about to change, and I just like needed to like just like take a step back. So during this time I was really like just into myself. Like I was spending, like I wasn't working, so I had enough time to just like wake up and like get back into like my spiritual practices, like get back into doing my devotionals, praying, meditating every day. I had enough time to like start working out again and like being consistent with that. And it was like the break of spring, so like I was like going downtown and like going to work out at this gym and just like really like pouring into myself. And that goes to like a point of like, you have to cultivate good soil, and like when you are planting and blooming into your like self, like after you kind of plant these seeds with like with yourself or with God or whoever, that like this is kind of like what I want to do, and like this is kind of like my next step, it's like now I need to cultivate good soil. And I really took a step back, and like I really was just like, okay, I need to like pour into myself. I need to like get my heart posture together. Like I need to like clear out some things that I should not be, that I do not want to bring into my new life. Like I need to like really like take a step back and like look internally and like kind of get my life together in the inside, so when these things that I want to happen externally happen, like I can just really receive them with a good heart and with good faith. So yeah, y'all, like my mornings were spent like 30-minute devotionals, 30-minute like just literally pouring into myself right when I wake up in the morning, hour-long self-care morning routines. And I know it sounds like really dramatic, but like I really just needed to do those things to pour back into myself. I was just like watching a lot of self-help videos and just really like taking a step back, like I said, and just like really doing a heart scan. you know, I think that sometimes when we are so young and like we're moving so fast and like life is still happening to us and around us, like sometimes like stuff gets swept under the rug and we don't like deal with it. And I feel like I just needed to like sit and just like really reconnect with nature, reconnect with myself, and like really get back in alignment to with God, and just like make it like get it together. So this is like end of March, April, May. I'm not working all that time. June comes around, and like by mid-June I start working at a gym downtown. The gym was, my gym front desk job was the best thing, one of the best things that happened to me in 2023. It was the start of something new, and I was just like, I just worked there part-time. I worked like 15 hours a week, and it was just something, because of course I still had like bills. It was just something for me to like do, get out the house. You know, I got to work out for free. I got to go to like nice workout classes, and I also just got to like get up and get out the house. You know, like those first 2 months, like I wasn't like getting upset like being in the house all the time, because like I was still hanging out with friends and stuff like that. But I just had needed to just like get up, and like getting up and like, you know, taking the metro train, going downtown to like work and like walking Michigan Ave, like in the right of the summer, it really revived my spirit in a different way. And it just really helped me just like, again, just like really just enjoy the beauty of the now. Like I loved getting on the train. I loved walking down Michigan Ave to go to work, and just like I loved like working at the gym and just meeting new people, interacting with new people, learning so much about fitness. Like I lost like 40 pounds like working there, because I had gained so much weight in 2022. I didn't even realize it, just from like, you know, working from home, like not really like moving throughout the day anymore, because like you're working at home all day, and then like all like the drinking and the partying and like the eating, like, you know, I have really gained a lot of weight. And so I was really happy to just be able to like move my body, but also just like work out, learn different, like learn about like fitness, and like really take that part of my life serious too. So like that was so beautiful for me to do. And then by the end of July, and mind you, like throughout this time, like I'm literally like on vibes. Like I know that like in the back of my mind, like I know that God has something for me, but like I was just really being so present in myself and in my emotions and my body, and just like being really self-aware. And I feel like my self-awareness transcended into my self-care, because like when something would come up, like when a feeling and a thought would come up, like I would just immediately know how to like cultivate and like take care of myself in that moment, and like do the things that I needed to do to make me feel better. So by the end of July, I start working at my first internship company, this marketing agency in Chicago, and I pick up some contract like part-time work. So y'all, I'm working at the gym like 15 hours a week, and then I'm working at this like, I'm working at the marketing agency like 10 hours a week. So I'm only working like 25 hours a week, like max 3 days, like max really 3-4 days out of the whole like entire 7-day week. Y'all, this was so good, because I was still able to take care and have my own time to myself. Like I did not really realize that I needed like a different like approach to work life. Like I think when you graduate, you're like, okay, 40 hours a week, like this is what everybody does. Like you work 9 to 5, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Like this is what you do. And I'm not gonna lie, like after I stopped working like that traditional work week, and then I kind of started working like part-time and kind of like doing my own thing, like it just really opened up my eyes to like work-life balance, like true work-life balance. And that was something that I needed. That was something that I didn't know that I needed until I got it. And I'm like, oh, like I can like actually like still make money, still be productive, but I don't have to do it in this way that like everybody else does it. And so I was like so grateful. Like of course I wasn't making the money that I made at my first corporate job, but I was still happy. Like all my needs were met. Like I was still taking care of myself and still doing the things that I wanted to do and that I could do. And of course I couldn't do like everything that I would have done like on a full-time salary job of like what I was first making, because I was making really good money first. But it was okay, because at that time in my life I just needed to like slow down. I just needed to like have more intentional time like at home and with myself. And like I also told myself, like I want to be able to just enjoy where I'm at, you know, and just like really fully get all of that. So that was like so nice, and it was planting seeds for things that were to come later on. So by this time, like, I'm working, I'm like, you know, in the fully groove, like I'm just like really in a happy, like peaceful state. And I will get into like the things, like, because as I go about this story, like, you're gonna see like all the things that I got like after I just like kind of surrendered and submitted to God and just like let him like do what he needed to do inside of me. And I really just surrendered to myself and just really got myself together. Now it's like July, and grad school was still something that I wanted to do, and I was just like, you know what, this is the perfect time for me to apply to grad school. So like, I have been talking to the admissions coordinator and people from my school that I ended up going to. Like, I started talking to them around like May, and I had already kind of inquired about the program, of course, when like I was still working full-time. But I was like talking to them, I was kind of just telling them where I was at in life, and they were just like really being so helpful and like so supportive throughout my whole admissions journey. Like, I feel like I don't know what I thought like grad school admission was gonna look like, or like what admissions look like at other schools, but I was just really supported. Like, they were just really so helpful, like telling me everything that I needed to do. And so I was working on my grad school application for the entire summer. It took me about like 3 months to do everything and to get everything that I needed. And I submitted my grad school application the day before my birthday celebration in 2023. And I was like working so hard on it. Like, I was just like I really kept that close to me too, because it was something that I was like really passionate about, and like I was really wanted to hold tight. And I just submitted it, and I was like, it's in God's hands, you know. So then my birthday comes around. I have a great birthday celebration. I go to Houston to see Beyonce for the Renaissance tour. Then I go to Greece, and I was just like so like at peace, y'all. And I think the best gift that I got in 2023 was like the start of a peace of mind. And it takes a long time to like really be at peace when you have just been through a lot. You're still growing, like you are also just in a very like in between transformative state too. I really just started understanding what being at peace was. And of course, it's something that I'm still working towards every day. And like, I have my moments where like I may crash out, or I just may like get a little like but I feel like now I have a baseline. Like before, I feel like I didn't really have like a baseline. Like, I felt like I would just be like, I don't know. But like now I feel like I have a genuine baseline of like peace and just like joy and like happiness that really stems from the inside and it pours out. And I think that was just like me. And I don't want to say I lost everything, but I think I just like moved out the things that didn't need to be there anymore, and it really allowed the space for something to cultivate inside of me that is like everlasting and that cannot be taken away from me. So now I come back from Greece, and the day I land back in Chicago from Greece, I literally get my grad school acceptance. So now it's like, OMG, like I have to prepare to move to Atlanta. Like just back in March, months before, like I had came down here looking for apartments. I thought I was gonna move back in March, but now it's just like, wait, I'm actually now about to really move. I'm actually now about to start grad school. I'm actually now about to just like step into a whole nother thing. And it's just so crazy that like when you do things on like your own timing and your own way and how you think that they should go, like it don't really be making sense. Not making sense, but it really just doesn't align. It doesn't work. But like when you really surrender and you really allow like things to just happen for you, and like things to just get like positioned and aligned, like everything just comes together so beautifully. So now I'm just like, okay, I have to come back to Atlanta. Like I'm going to grad school orientation in November. I'm looking for jobs, like, you know, like a part-time jobs here. I'm preparing to go to grad school. I'm doing like everything I need to do. And like I come to Atlanta in November for orientation, and me and my line sister, we are like going around apartments and like apartment touring. And it's so crazy because she had apartment toured me earlier in the year, but like we came back and like y'all, I was not finding no place I wanted to live at. Like I initially had loved this one place when I went in March, and I was like, oh my god, this is where I want to live at, like this is so cute, like da da da. But when I came back to visit, I was like, it doesn't, like it's not hitting. Like I just was not like finding something that I liked. So like now, it was like the day before I left, and she was like, let's go next door. Like they just built those next door. So initially these apartments, the apartment that I live in now, it wasn't even built when I first came in March. I came back in November for orientation. I toured it, y'all, perfect. Like it was in my budget. It was everything that I asked for and more. Like I wasn't even looking at this big of a floor plan. I wasn't even thinking about a balcony. Like I just knew I wanted to have a nice studio apartment, and like I just wanted something that was like for me and it was cute. And I walked in and I was like, oh my god, this is just so beautiful. Like this is my apartment. And I was like, I'm the first person to live in here. So it just really, like, I felt like it was meant to be. So then y'all, I go back home. I'm like, oh my god, like, I'm really about to start grad school. I just got my first apartment. Now y'all, I get a car. I went to the dealership. I wasn't even looking to get the car that day. At first I was initially just going to come to Atlanta and I was just going to figure it out. And because my school had like transportation services and stuff for students, and I was just gonna figure it out and then eventually get a car. But my mom was just like, let's just go look one day. And we just went and just to look. And I was initially like, and this is why I love God, because he always does more than what we expect. I wasn't even looking at the type of car that I got. I wasn't even like looking at that year. Like I was really just like, you know, I just need a car. Like I was just like, I'm grateful for if I just get a car that's gonna get me around to school, you know, and I'll figure things out like once I graduate to like get a, like, you know, something like, you know, nice or whatever, blah blah blah. And God was like, girl, no, I got something for you. And so I leave with a car. Like the day before Thanksgiving, I get a car, and like I was just so overwhelmed with joy, y'all, from like October to December of 2023, because like it just kind of felt like everything that I initially had wanted at the beginning of the year, that I kind of just like left out of my mind and like kind of just surrendered to, and was just like, hey, it is what it is. It's like it just literally just came back, and then it came back like boom bam fi. Like, and I think that when you are really like blooming into who you are, you also have to be okay with like things not looking how you thought that they were gonna look. And be open. Like I feel like I had to really be open to receiving, and not like trying to be so strict on like it should look this way, it should go this way, it should be this way. And it's really hard for me because I am, well, I like used to have control issues. I'm working on them, but I was a control freak, and like if things did not go my way, and then it's also kind of like a little spoiled syndrome too. Like if things did not go my way, I would just be like super like annoyed, super irritated, and just like it was really hard for me to surrender to stuff and just like let stuff be. Like I said, I'm still working on that, but it's like, wow, I'm actually ending the year with everything that I wanted at the top of the year, plus more. Like now it's December 2023. I moved to Atlanta. I'm about to, you know, move into my place. I'm starting grad school at the top of the year, and all of 2024 up until now, when I just graduated last month, you know, it was just really about me working hard. And like now that I'm in my dreams, like making sure that I'm stewarding my dreams, making sure that I'm stewarding the things that I wanted. And I think that when you are really aligning yourself with what's for you, it's really easier to steward things and stuff, because you just have a deeper appreciation, because you knew like how hard you worked, and just also just how like, you know, this is for you. And I also just think that too, like I was able to rest in 2023, because the next stage of my life, being in grad school full time, and also like I had to work while I was here too, is just like, that was like me being consistently on the go, like working. But like again, everything that happens always happens for a reason, and it always is to position you for what's next. And like, I'm just so grateful that I was able to like take a step back from work and take a step back and like really do some like inner self and like self work and like get into myself and rest, because like the next stage of my life, like I was going to be in school full time. Like now I'm in school full time. Like I was like fully invested in school, like 2.5-hour classes, like classes twice a week, like taking multiple classes, like still working, like creating a home, like living on your own, like having new bills. Like it was very like something that I needed to like fully invest in and be present for. But it's also just so beautiful too, because like all that hard work and all those things pay off. Like now the job that I'm working, like I'm so grateful because like the work-life balance that I learned initially in 2023, I'm able to have that confidence to have those conversations with my managers of like, you know, this is kind of like how I work best, and like this is kind of like what's best for me. And then it's also just like knowing my strengths and like things that I've already like mastered in other jobs or other positions that I've had. I'm able to bring those skills now. And then also like living on your own, like I don't think I would have been able to really enjoy living on my own if I hadn't spent so much time by myself in 2023 and just really learned how to like occupy and enjoy my own company. And I feel like I didn't never like not being alone, but I think when you live by yourself, and also like let me like make this clear too, like my best friend literally lives next door, so it's not like I'm truly by myself. But you know, we were on 2 different schedules. Like she works full time, I was in grad school, like we wasn't together all the time. So it's just like, you know, having to own where you are in life and be comfortable with that, because everybody's life looks different, and sometimes we think our lives are supposed to look a certain way at this age, and they were supposed to be doing certain things, and if you're not doing this, then you're not this, and if you're doing this, you're this, all this type of stuff. But I think like when in 2023, like I was just really able to be comfortable all the way in myself and what was going on with me, because like 1, you just need that in general, but 2 is because like I am different and my life looks different than everybody else, and I have to own that. And everybody should own that. Everybody's lives look different. Like we should all embrace where we're at on our journeys. But I just really wanted to share, because I think that sometimes we can get really just occupied with like outside noise and like what's going on around us. And like sometimes it's just really good to take a step back and just like really do a heart scan and like really do an internal scan and see like, you know, what am I striving towards? You know, what are my goals? How is my everyday life? You know, like what makes me happy? You know, what makes me sad? Can I really sit with those things and like confront those things, and like who do I want to be? You know, like who do I genuinely want to be? What do I really want my life to look like? I think I had so much time in 2023. It's like I realized like, you know, I don't want to be like working all day, you know, like I want to work in a certain type of way. Like working out every day is important to me, and like I kind of need that in my life, you know, like being able to wake up and have enough time to pray, do my devotional, meditate, have some me time is important before I go out and start my day. Like, you know, like really looking and being like, how do I want my dream life to look? And I know that it's just like, it's a lot of things that go into that, but it's just so important to plant those seeds. And now it's like really like, you know, check ourselves and really figure out what's going on the inside, so when we are open to new things happening, like we can really receive them on good soil and in good faith. Like I don't think that, like if I would have like really gotten just like really sad and like really negative and just really like down when that other job didn't work out, I wouldn't have been able to like really welcome in all of the blessings that came. And also like if I really like knew that I had to just wait until the end of the year to do everything that I said I wanted to do initially, I don't think I would have been a good steward in the moments that I had. Like I don't think I really would have been a good steward or even motivated to step outside the box and like do things differently and like explore different parts of myself if I knew that my blessing was just a couple of months away. So I think like really surrendering to your life and just surrendering to like what's in front of you right now is so important, because you never know what could happen tomorrow. Like, I know that it's a little corny, but like that's why I love Glow when she said that's why I love tomorrow. Like, you never know what tomorrow brings. And you know, I just really hope that people like continue to stay inspired and to continue to fall in love with this journey of life, because like life has its ups and downs, you know. Like, my life is not perfect, but the journey is beautiful. I am so grateful for everything that I'm in right now, and I know that it's going to be more, but like I just am really enjoying the now and the peace that I feel, because one day this moment is I'm not gonna be, you know, living here, and one day I'm not probably gonna be working where I'm working at. One day I'm not going to be like, you know, single. Like, one day I'm not gonna be childless. Like, you have to enjoy every moment. And like, even just finishing school, like school was a part of the huge part of my life for the last year and a half, and now it's over. So it's just like, when I was in school, I was really locked in school, because it was like, I am enjoying this moment. I have been wanting to go to like fashion art design school since I was like in high school, and like initially I was so sad when I couldn't go directly after college, but like I had surrendered. I allowed my journey to be what it was, and I'm so grateful, because like everything that I learned in Mizzou, all of my prior work experience set me up to be successful in grad school. Also set me up to get the job that I have now. And lastly, when you really surrender, you allow things to come that you weren't even expecting. Like I started with, like, one, I wasn't even expecting to get a baseline peace of mind. I was just like, whew, I get to take some time off from work and I get to just relax. But like, no, I actually got a peace of mind in that. I actually got some good practices. I actually got to know myself more. So that was already above what I was just initially like grateful for. And then to like my apartment, like initially, like I said, I wasn't even looking at this place. This place wasn't even on my list. I didn't even know this place existed. And then I come and it's the perfect place. I get a balcony. I wasn't even expecting to get a balcony, because I knew that I wanted a studio. And now like I was like, oh my God, I have a balcony. Like I said, I wasn't even expecting a big floor plan. And then it's like, whoa, now my room and like my closet are sectioned off. And initially, when I was okay with just having everything in one place, you know, like my car, like initially I wasn't even looking at that model, and then it's just like, boom, I get a perfect car for me that I love. The place that I'm working at wasn't even on my radar, for real. I didn't even think that it was available to me, and I'm like in there. So it's just like, when you really surrender and you just let life just kind of like, and it's not being active, like all of this is prayer plus action. All this is getting in alignment with the one, and you know, but it's like internally aligning, you know, like internally getting my inside together, because our internal world reflects our external world, you know. So it's just like, I had to really get serious about what was on the inside of Naima, to let Naima's external life be a reflection of that. And when I'm not prioritizing my internal life, when I'm not, you know, making sure that things are aligned in here, it reflects in my external world. And that's okay too, because I'm not perfect. I'm human. I'm going to literally make mistakes, like I just said earlier. Like, even though I have a baseline of peace, I still be sometimes crashing out over stuff. We're all human. I'm not gonna just be like never getting mad, never getting sad ever again in my life. But at least now it's like I have a better way to gauge when I'm getting in those feelings. I have a better ways to maneuver those feelings and work through. I have better ways of communicating, you know. And it's like all these things I had to learn from like going through things. I hope this video inspired somebody. Like I said, I just always want to help somebody. I think I just have like a servant like demeanor and attitude. And I also just feel like too, we live in a world where everything is always so shiny and so glitzy and glamoury, and like, you know, especially at this age, like in our 20s, I feel like it can get really hard sometimes, you know, like you can really like either like just get lost in the sauce, you can really just compare yourself, you can really just, you know, let life just pass you by without kind of seeing what's in front of you. And I think like it's just so beautiful to surrender and to just, you know, take this time to plant good seeds for your life. You know, like our lives are so beautiful and long and just so rich in everything, and it's important to just enjoy every moment that you're in. Like when I was working at the gym, I was so happy to work at the gym. I was actually sad when I had to leave to move to Atlanta. But I'm still connected with those people, you know. I can, like when I go home, I can still go, but you know, it's so important to be present in those moments. Like even in my other job, like my first internship company that I worked at, I worked there all the way up until this beginning of the year, and I was so grateful for that, you know, of going back there and working and building more and deeper relationships with those people, getting more experience, you know. Like even there, I wasn't like, I didn't even know and wouldn't even imagine the type of clients that we worked with. And I'm so grateful that I got to work with those clients, because again, those were things that I didn't even know were available to me and that I could even do. So it's also just being open to different things, like being open to life looking differently than how you wanted it to go or how you planned it to go, because sometimes you can miss beautiful things by having these like rigid boxes and stuff for yourself. Like I said, I hope this video inspired somebody. Please comment, like, let me know what your thoughts are. Share with me if you have, you know, gone through any other type of similar experiences. I love stuff like this. I love watching videos like this, because I think it's just so relatable and it's so real, and it just makes everybody human, you know. It just really allows us to feel the humanness. And I think that my channel moving forward, it's going to be a little mix of these, a little mix of like vlogs, and sometimes I'm gonna come on and yap, sometimes I'm just gonna come on and have a cute video that's full of music. Like I'm just exploring myself through this creative outlet, and I just feel like I'm back in the spirit of just like being creative and just really expressing my creativity, because one, like I was in school, so like I was putting all like my creative juice and like thoughts into that. But now like I'm just in a space where I feel, of course, a little bit more confident to like express myself creatively in different ways. And then I just also have the time now to just, you know, make videos again and do things I like to do. So let me know how you all are feeling in the comments below, and I'll see y'all next time.